No.
Okay, you're live.
Okay. Call the Village of Mount Sterling, July 13th, 2020 council meeting to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
David?
Here.
Melanie? Here. Craig?
Here.
Becky? Jay?
Here.
Andy?
Here.
Could I have a motion to excuse Becky from this?
You have that motion?
Okay.
Second. Go ahead.
Andy.
You were first.
So we have David and Andy.
David and Andy?
Roll call, please.
David?
Yes.
Melanie? Yes. Craig?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
David, do you want to lead us in prayer?
Heavenly Father, be with this council tonight and give us the wisdom to make the decisions that our village needs. And Lord, be with the ones that are battling this terrible virus. Touch them, Lord, with your healing hand, and be with our country tonight, Lord. And touch this country, Lord, for the healing it needs. In Jesus' wonderful, wonderful name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All of you should have gotten the minutes from the July 6, 2020 special council meeting, the regular council meeting from June 22nd, and a special council meeting on July 7th, 2020. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Craig and Jay. Can I have a roll call, please?
David?
Yes.
Melanie? Yes. Craig?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
Okay. That takes us to mayor report. I do not have one tonight. President Pro Tem report. I don't think you have anything from Becky, do you?
Nope.
Okay. That leads us to public comment and visitors. We have Marla Farberger here today as a candidate for Madison County Prosecutor.
Thank you. I'm going to move so then
Yeah, I think we want you up.
Come up a little closer, please.
and then I'll put my mask on.
Here's a microphone here or one over here.
Okay, I'll come over here, that's fine. Thank you. I wanted to come to introduce myself today. A couple reasons. Well, obviously, I'm a candidate. I'm an independent candidate for Madison County Prosecuting Attorney. And as a candidate, obviously, I would like to introduce myself to the community. Hard to do right now during a pandemic. But as a point, I wanted to go to the council meetings because, of course, as the county prosecutor, you're in a position to be interacting, of course, with the townships and the villages in a representative capacity. So I thought it was important to see what's going on in all of the communities in Madison County. I've lived in Madison County for 25 years. We've lived in the township of West Jeff, I don't know why I'm doing that, village of West Jefferson. Then we moved out to Glade Run, so now we live in Deer Creek Township. My kids attended West Jefferson High School. I've been an assistant prosecuting attorney for 23 years and an attorney for 27. And I decided that it was time with Steve Prone retiring to bring my experience and honestly my tenacity, because I don't back down real easily, to serve my own community instead of Franklin County. You know, I'm in charge of our grand jury unit there, so I supervise the presentation of roughly 6,500 cases to the grand jury every year. I supervise a staff of 7 attorneys and 6 support staff, which is close in size actually to the entire Madison County Prosecutor's Office. My family and I have been involved in the community. My husband, first of all, is a retired police officer, so we're a bunch of civil servants. My son is a firefighter. He works at Jefferson Township part-time. He works for Central Township part-time. And he just had his first shift yesterday, full-time at Jerome, up in Union County. So, yay. So you're always excited when these things happen. Helped with PTO when my kids were little, coached youth athletic. I was on the library board in West Jefferson, the Herb Patel Memorial Library. I volunteered as a legal advisor to West Jefferson High School's mock trial team for the past 9 years, which is a completely volunteer position. We've made it to state more often than not. In that period of time, unfortunately, it got canceled this year because of the pandemic. I'd like to be the prosecuting attorney because I believe my experience and my independence from the narrow pool of people that have typically been countywide offices, I don't know how to say that in a more diplomatic manner, I think is a good perspective. I don't think the prosecutor's office should be led by, I don't think it should be a political position to begin with. Unfortunately, that's the situation we're in. It is a political position. I've been an independent for 20 years. I didn't change parties in order to run. And if you had asked me 2 years ago if I was ever going to run for office, I would have told you no, because that's not necessarily something I'm not a politician. But I am a prosecutor, and I believe that's what Madison County needs for their next prosecutor. So, as I said, after, I'm happy to talk to anybody if they have questions or would like to meet with me, but I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to introduce myself.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions now, or do you want to wait till afterwards?
I didn't know timing-wise if it was...
Do you have any changes you would like to do if you end up getting the position?
Well, ultimately, so because I'm an assistant prosecuting attorney and a bit of a workaholic in Franklin County, I really would be lying, which I never do, if I told you I had my finger on the pulse as to what's currently going on in Madison County. I've had some people make comments to me, complaints about how often grand jury meets and things like that, but I do think that because it's been run by the same person in the same party, and as I said, and I mean no disrespect to the Republican Party, but because there's not anything contested typically in Madison County, as a result, I think there's potentially complacency that happens. So I think, I don't have necessarily that I plan to change anything, but I do think it'd be good to have somebody in with a new perspective to see if something needs changed. So
Thank you.
nothing specifically.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
And that takes us to executive session. We have none. Sheriff's report. Mr. Dill is on vacation, and I don't believe we have a substitute at this time. Okay. Our law director is not here this evening. That takes us to Misty, our utilities clerk.
Just a quick update regarding, first of all, the shutoffs. There's been the ban has been lifted, and so as expected, there's more shutoffs than normal. We delivered over 60 shutoffs on, was it Friday? On Friday. Just trying to get some payments back, and we still have 33 of them as of right now scheduled to be shut off. Still have a couple of days to get some payments. We are accepting an agreement plan up to 90 days. And with that 90 days, we add in the next bills the next two bills that will come out, and the penalties that will be added and divided by that 90 days, and we have to have one payment right away. So, and people really appreciate that. Right now, we took in about close to 250 payments today alone, over 30,000 collected and processed today. So we're just gonna, try to make some calls as we can. It's not required to leave a tag nor a call for a payment reminder. If somebody doesn't get their bill, or if they have any questions, we will call you back. It might not be right then or an hour or so, but we will get back a hold of you. I want to thank Sue for helping me out today. I really, really appreciate that. There's just so much work to be done, and not enough time to do it. I think that's all that right now that I have to report. Oh, one more thing. I do want to thank George and welcome Aaron to the team. They've been out there working hard, replacing valves, checking on leaks, and I really appreciate their promptness and diligence.
Mitzi, has anybody been coming in, though, for help with their water bills, where you can help them, like, to go to the services or anything, or?
Yeah, I try to give them, everything that they need to get assistance. I can't call for them, but I have all the information. I have a packet to give them. At Madison County, they have a lot of assistance. They have veterans assistance, job and family services. I have all that information, and I even compiled a packet to give to them.
Good, good.
And I'd like to remind everybody too that the window is closed on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can still come in and make your payment in the slot. We do still take phone calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but the face-to-face contact is not there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So just want to remind everybody of that. Does anybody have any questions for Misty? Okay, thank you. That takes us to zoning and building, and Tom is on vacation and left no report today. That brings us to fiscal officer, Courtney Bricker.
Okay, council members did receive their packets on Friday, July 10th. I did not receive any questions since then, so I'm assuming there were no questions in regards to from the council members. But just for the public's view, if we look at the RETA report, we are showing here the accepted amount on July the 1st of $33,189.79. Again, I noticed that there were some communications on Facebook recently over the weekend in regards to RETA. Again, if you have a question in regards to how to submit your RETA, how to set up payments with RETA, please bring them to me. Again, we don't communicate on Facebook in regards to that for the privacy of the residents. I don't feel that it's necessary to do that. So again, if you have any questions with RETA, please direct those towards me. You can reach me through my Facebook page, message me, call me on my information is on our website. Please, if you have any questions, communicate that with me. I can help you through that. So again, please, if you have any questions, to communicate that with me. I did speak to a resident that was having problems, and it was suggested that maybe we should bring in a RETA spokesperson to maybe one of our council meetings so that they can answer any questions that you all may have. And again, we don't process RETA through here through the village, but I can definitely get you an answer or help you through that. So just as a reminder. Okay, the next report is the cash summary by fund. Again, the reports that you're seeing here are for the month of June. In a little while here, I will give you a bank reconciliation for you guys to fill out or to sign. But again, the cash summary by fund is showing a total balance of $730,911.48, which is very good. All of our accounts and funds are in the positive. Any questions on that?
Sounds good.
Okay, the revenue status, again, I always like to see the general fund, which is at 48%, which is good in regards to revenue. And the water fund is at 44%, along with the street department is in 49%. Any questions on that? Okay, the receipt listing, again, this is for the month of June. The only thing that you might see that stands out here is for the, you're going to start seeing some new ones on here, like for instance, individual names. And what I mean by that is now that zoning and planning is now charging for permits and variance fees, you will start to notice that there will be some personal names on here, because when you receipt it, you have to receipt it to however you received it. And usually those are written by residents, which means that their names are normally on their checks. So you'll see a couple of these that have individual names on here, and that's just because it was either a variance or a permit for zoning. Okay? Any questions on those? Okay, the payment listing, as you can tell, again, there's nothing that stands out of the ordinary. I do want to make note that you will not be seeing Woodward Auto Parts on here as a vendor name. They have been replaced by the Walker Family Tire and Walker Family Auto Parts. I'm not sure if everybody knows that, but.
Was there a reason, Courtney, why they did that then, this change?
They just sold the business.
Okay, I just want, okay, thank you.
Yeah, so you'll see Walker Family Tire or Walker Family Autos on there, just for the finance department. I know I just spoke about that in our recent meetings. And the Ohio Water Development Authority, again, you'll see a $404,000 payment there. That was for the water and the sewer loan payments for the month of July. Again, we will be paying out for December. Again, they do not excuse any of those monies or loans. It is a state-funded loan, and they do not excuse those. So I just wanted to make sure. I know we talked a lot about that in finance. We talked a lot about that in the water and waste committees. But again, just as a reminder. Okay? Comparison of budget and appropriated. This is a good report as well to see. It does measure what your budgeted thus far, as well as what was appropriated thus far. So again, all of the funds are in a positive balance here, and we look very good at that. The next and last report that I have here is the appropriation status. Again, the appropriation status does show expenses thus far. For the general fund, I am showing a expense of 26%, which is well below what we budgeted. Again, about right now, we should be about 50 to 52 to 51%. This is well below what we should be at. The street fund is at 50%. Again, I believe Andy's probably going to speak to this during his department committee meeting. And we did purchase some signs, of course, that was paid on this report, and some possible projects that we will be expending as well. Okay, so let's see. And for the water fund, I do want to show and say mention on that. It's at 47%, which is a few percentages lower than what we should be at, which is great. And lastly, the sewer is at 43%, which is well below, at least 10% below what was budgeted. So is there any questions on the financial reports?
Looks like we're running pretty smooth sailing, as we have for everything, yeah.
Yep. I would like to announce that our next Financial Commission Committee plan, where the state comes down here and the state auditors, they will be meeting next month, August the 23rd at 10 a.m. Again, it is open to the public. We do place it on YouTube. I do take minutes. So if anybody has questions on anything or has questions on the finances, Rita, or a comment or a complaint, please direct those to us. You know, we're here at Town Hall. Like I said, Misty, if she's busy, because of these shutoffs, I do want to remind members and the public that is because they're calling in. So if she doesn't pick up the phone, leave a message or call me. Or send me an email, call me, message me. I've had a few residents that's messaged me through Facebook. We'll make sure that we get those phone calls. But right now, because that order's been lifted, there's a lot of people wanting to set up payments, and it's taking some time for people to get through, okay? The next thing that you guys, I will pass around here is the bank reconciliation. Again, this is for the month of June. It has been obviously balanced to the zero, to the penny, nothing more, nothing less. Again, there is nothing that's different about this than any others. So again, money that has been brought in, has been accounted for, and has been received. Okay? So if I could ask the Mayor Darlington to place a motion to accept the appropriation status, the revenue status, the receipt listing report, the payment listing report, the comparison of budget and appropriated, the cash summary by fund, the reader report, and the bank reconciliation for June of 2020.
Can I have that motion, please?
You have that motion?
I'll second.
Okay, Andy made the first, David
Yes.
second.
Yes. Roll call?
David?
Yes.
Melanie? Yes. Craig?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
Okay, and if I may circulate these two around to obtain your signatures, that would be great, for both the minutes and financial reports. Yeah. And again, I just wanted to welcome Aaron to the team, and again, George, for all of his hard work and efforts that he's been maintaining, unfortunately by himself for a period of time since May. So again, we look forward to starting to get things on track and project schedule.
We have a small team, but we work really hard.
Yes.
So that'll take us to committee reports. Does anybody have a report for Becky for
I
finance?
do, if I may.
Yes.
So we held a meeting, a finance meeting on, I believe it was, correct me if I'm wrong, July the 8th? Did you cut down, Bob?
9th, wasn't it?
July the 8th, I believe. right? Yeah. Okay, so there were some questions in regards to some projects that we're gonna be doing, and they approved some of the quotes to get those. We will maybe possibly on one of those projects. Again, we didn't anticipate this to happen, but we have meters that we're gonna be installing, and we need to have those installed, and we only had one person on the crew. So there might be some legislation that's going to be brought back to council to reappropriate some money. Again, if it needs to come out of the general fund, we also have to go back to the Financial Commission Committee to allow that acceptance and to ask for permission. So, again, that's going to be brought back to you guys as council to see if we need to reappropriate some money, but again, Finance Committee meetings are working swell. There were a few requests there in Rita that we spoke about, and I think that's all that I got for that.
Any questions? That takes us to Pleasant Township. Melanie?
I don't have anything to report tonight.
Okay. Squad, Jay?
All right, got a few things. We met on the 8th, 8 p.m. So where can we start off with? The team is going great. We did, however, have a paramedic step down onto bigger and better things. So, of course, that leaves us needing paramedics and things like that. We are always looking for medics. We're always looking for EMTs, volunteers. So if you're out there, if you know someone who's trying to get into the game, I guess we can call it, have them contact Chief Taylor. I mean, Chief's amazing. He does a great job with the team. They respect him very well, and he respects the team back. So if you know anybody, definitely recommend them. Things we're kind of looking at is we're looking at a software, as you know, with medical and I mean just technology advancing. Even with medical stuff, it's just changing all the time. Chief is looking into a more state-of-the-art software that's going to help be more efficient for our teams and what they're using. I'm not 100% what's going on with the current one. I think it does shut down and things like that, just how things go. So we're trying to find something a little more user-friendly. Let's see here. We are pursuing an EMS grant. That's through the state. We were granted a partial grant, about a little over $4,000. That goes towards just whatever if it's cots, if it's just equipment, we have to use that by September. But Chief is always pursuing that grant, which is awesome. That kind of helps the team with whatever, because medical equipment is expensive. So he's working on that as well. Let's see here. Just other things, we're partners with different townships. Right now, we're getting ready to kind of renew the contract with Monroe, and getting that squared away with them, because we go to South Solon and we're all over the place, obviously Madison County. Our team goes where it's needed. So they do partnerships with different townships and things like that. Let's see here. So the last thing is kind of like a fun thing. Normally they do have like the flower fundraiser, and that got canceled this year. That's usually what that money goes towards, is keeping the facility up to date. Right now, I know their furniture is literally being kept together by wood glue. Which you don't want our paramedics, our first responders, have to worry about that stuff. Our team gets very busy. I know they had a fun time last night when we had that incident last night from Deer Creek, but they're going to be updating some furniture, things there, just things that have been just abused and used. And I say abused, not abused intentionally, but just used and used and used and used by multiple team members. And so they'll be updating a little bit of the facility over there. We just granted them permission to use some of their funds to do that. And so I just say this: if you guys really are appreciative of our first responders, don't forget them. Always offer to help if it's a dinner, if it's whatever. Like I said, they're doing everything they can. Sometimes they go in, as soon as they come back to the bay, they get another call, they're out. They're just in and out like crazy, busy, and just seeing the most craziest things that some of us would never imagine. We see in the movies, these guys see the craziest real deal. Even our small towns out in the country, they see some raunchy things, and And so, just, if you see a paramedic, they're always doing laps. You'll see Miss Taylor, and Janie, and doing laps around the village, you know, just trying to get some exercise in before their next call. If you see them, just to say hello and tell them thank you. And I know it means the world to them, knowing that we care about them, because they severely care about us. And that is my report, Mayor, about the squad.
Very good. Fire, Craig.
After we paid the bills and approved the minutes, we talked more about their options of advertisement of their tanker. And, by the way, the tanker's supposed to be here at the end of new one, September or early October. The grass truck made it back from the shop. But 492 went back into the shop. Clutch on the AC, and they had radiator and water front pumps. And we also passed their annual raise. And our next meeting will be Wednesday, the 29th.
Very good. And water, wastewater, Craig, that's you also?
We did in our meeting, we discussed the budget. We also discussed the 5-year plan and the longer plan, because one of the things we discussed was a new water tower, and that's not a 5-year plan. We also that the Madison County, our work group for our water and sewer, they come up and give us some ideas too about manholes and mains. And we also talked about the groundwater infiltration, like our meeting today. We also talked about additional meters past what the 150 we have now. And we also talked this more short-term plan of the bulk water meter out at the plant, where it can be a self-service thing and we don't have to worry, and you pay as you go right there. And that's it. And our next meeting will be August the 12th at 4 o'clock. Wednesday.
Did you want to address the conversation that we had today, or in regards to the smoke test, or?
Oh, yeah, Ohio Water. Oh, what?
Ohio Rural Water Association.
Ohio Rural Water, that's it.
Yep.
They went over with us about the smoke test, which are going to be July the 30th.
July the 30th.
And they give us literature to put out to the people that, you know, they don't get upset or freak out that if somehow their system is hooked to our sewer system, or like downspouts and stuff, their house may fill up with smoke. The smoke is not harmful. There's nothing to it. It's just smoke. And we're gonna put out signs and kind of give a education to what we're going to do. And other than that, that's.
Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, just be on the lookout. What we're going to try and do, if I may add, Mr. Hicks, is that we're going to be notifying the residents about this. And again, like Mr. Hicks said, it is not harmful, it's not toxic or anything like that. So what it's doing is it's causing a lot of processing of unneeded water or unwanted water down at our sewer plant. And it's been like that for several years now. And we've had to replace 3 gearboxes that were $18,000 in value. So we will be notifying residents that we will be performing this. Again, it is performed professionally by a Ohio Rural Water Association, which is, they're performing this free of charge for this. And we're going to be notifying the residents on their water bill, and we're also going to be putting it in public locations. So at the library, the post office, the community center, the gas stations, and so forth, to notify people. So you will see groups, again, that are going to be out in different shifts, okay, throughout the day on July the 30th. And what they're going to be doing is you'll see them opening manholes and putting this liquid smoke through there. And then again, there will be some sort of, if they do find that there is smoke that's coming out of people's houses, there is a corrective action plan. So we hope that the residents understand this, that this is a need. This is not something that, it's been performed in the past, from what I understand, Mr. Timmons. And it's something that needs to happen in order for the village to move forward. So again, there is a corrective action plan, and that we would notify the residents that we do see that there is a problem. And also, there could be a problem on our side if we start to see that through our catch basins. Because, in time to tell, from what Mr. Timmons has said, is that, things have been connected incorrectly. And we don't want to, and he shared stories of, this possibly helping people because in past, it actually made people sick because of the fumes from sewage. Again, we're helping the residents inside their homes, along with helping the village find out where this water, what we call, and what I referred to several times as I&I water down at the sewer plant. So it is helpful for everybody. It does give them an understanding that some of their plumbing releases some of those gases into people's houses. So it does help the residents to identify that there were problems. So just be conscious, and if you have any questions, feel free to please contact Town Hall. Again, we don't respond to Facebook messages, but we do, want to make sure that if they are experiencing a problem when they start to do this, that they do contact us. Again, the sheriff's department and the fire department will be notified when this happens, so.
And we're not just doing this for kicks, it's an EPA
Yes.
requirement. Otherwise, the village could be fined
Right.
big dollars on it.
$25,000 a day.
A day.
This is not corrected.
So we
it
do
is-
have to
it is
follow up,
required.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so, thank you, both of you. That takes us to street. Andy?
Yes, we met last week, a pretty busy agenda on the Streets Committee. We are going to move forward with repairs to pretty significantly deteriorated spots on London Street as a part of our major state routes pot of money, so that is separate from the budget line item that will cover regular streets. We have a list compiled of all of the truly awful potholes that, are really significant ones at this point, and has gotten an estimate. We'll be bringing that estimate to council for essentially approval to allocate funds for that. And then, besides that, we're looking at major paving projects to see how much those would be, including the repair of Chestnut, various options for that. Nothing has been decided for Chestnut, but we're looking at how to accommodate industrial use as well as residential use. And unfortunately, that street is in advanced state of disrepair, so it needs some significant work on that one. Over the course of the last month, we've received a couple requests around the use of speed bumps in the village, so that was on the agenda as well. We're looking into the cost and the placement, potential use of speed bumps. One placement would be on High Street, another placement would be on New Street, plus wherever else we get a request for them to look at the possible placement of those. We don't have a solution yet for speed bumps, whether or not they're made from the plastic type or some asphalt type or built up, whatever. The point is that we need to start mapping out where we want speed controls to be above and beyond just stop signs. And I believe on that, unless my fellow committee reminds me of anything else, that's that for right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That takes us to Parks and Recreation. Melanie?
We had a meeting on the 1st. Day? No, our last meeting was on the 1st. The 8th. We are trying really hard to get the movie up and running. We are currently submitting plans with the Madison County Health Department. We'll see how that goes. We're working on a backup plan for maybe a drive-in movie. Load the movie screen up and play through the audio of people's cars. That way they can stay in their car and socially distance. And hopefully we can still have movie nights. We also are discussing plans of starting a market. Probably down at Mason Park, maybe like a flea market type thing, and let food trucks come in. We're submitting plans with the health department on that also. So hopefully we can get that started. We want to do that on the first Saturday of the month. So it'll be coming up soon if we can get approved, but we're kind of on hold right now. It's all up in the air with the health department. And we are working on our 5-year plan. In the next meeting, everybody's going to be bringing their wants, their wishes, their needs, and their price tags for what we need to take care of for Parks and Recs.
Okay, thank you. Record of retention, Andy.
Yes, we had an opportunity to meet last week. As I mentioned in previous reports, we are going through Village Hall, almost room by room, looking for things. We've started back here and have considered at least 4 record classes that I can remember off the top of my head. And we're preparing submission for Ohio Historical Society review, which is a first step towards either them being given to the Historical Society or marked for destruction. So we'll be continuing throughout Town Hall, saving the stuff that needs to be saved, of course, and then making it available for other state entities to be used in other ways. Thank you.
Very good. Nuisance and abatement, Jay.
All right, well, I have, before I start, our next squad meeting is 8/12 at 8 PM. So I want to at least throw it out there. I forgot to mention that, so I apologize. We do have a little bit of a list for nuisance and abatement. And so I want to kind of quickly explain kind of nuisance and abatement. I know a lot of people kind of view us as the no fun police. I guess I just made that up, that term, but I think that's how we're viewed, like we're going around yelling at people. Honestly, what we're looking for is situations that are not safe. So when we're seeing junk piled up on porches, we're seeing, even structurally, things like that, we're recognizing situations that are not safe. But also a nuisance too. It's also not just safety for you, but also for your neighbors as well. So that's the things that why we're addressing nuisance and abatement. Some people get the wrong idea that we're just got a little stick that we're getting ready to whack you with. That's not at all what it is. We just want to make sure our community is clean, our community is safe, and also that we're attractive to new families, new businesses, things like that come into our community and see that, we really care and we really want to have the best place possible to live and to work and to market out. We did have someone probably a couple months ago step down from the nuisance and abatement for personal reasons as a volunteer. They were very, very impactful for our committee, so it was kind of a kick in the gut to lose someone, but we did fill that position. So we're excited to that position, but the volunteer position, someone who's very, very, very in touch with the community, knows the ins and outs, and just has a good eye for quality, and so we're excited to have them join us for our next meeting, which actually I think would be 8/5. Yep. So we're excited for that. Let's see. We are a little concerned, Mayor. We'll say this will kind of be like the negative thing. There was another meeting where, and I get Jackie was on vacation, our sheriff, even with Tom not in attendance. I guess he was on vacation too, just because the bigger projects, since our sheriff's going to be right now, for the time being, active with passing out tags and just kind of helping addressing, but also with Mr. Hale that has our more structural nuisances. It's just, and I know I can step up and probably reach out a little bit more too, but I said it's another meeting where we're just not having important keys to help us kind of knowing where we're at. I just want to at least make that on record that maybe keep an eye on that a little bit, and I can help any way possible, make sure I'm staying in touch as well. Let's see here. We did talk about, another item was just how we're, our process a little bit, and how we're approaching situations. We don't have, nothing's cookie cutter, and so when we look at, so if it's high grass, our ordinance says, we contact, you have so many days, this and that. If you have trash on your porch that's been sitting there for a month, there's an ordinance and another schedule. So we're having to really look at each individual situation and really addressing it. And so we are, and what I'm leading into is when we look at that, it's just the enforcement of it, staying on top of it. And what I actually want to walk into, if I can, Mayor, and also Courtney, if I'm doing this correctly, we did sit down and we got together a recommendation about opening back up and posting the position for code enforcement officer. We did have someone in that position and no longer in that position, and I feel that was a very crucial because what that position does, it kind of helps, so that way as a council or even anybody on staff here, you know, we shouldn't having to be in the community, always, we have someone that's strictly looking at the community. I know we do too, we get together and kind of come up, but I think having a code enforcement officer to help connect, be that bridge between the community and everything else is very crucial. And so I wanted to we made a recommendation to bring up to council about opening that position up for code enforcement officer right now for 10 hours a week. And
10.99,
yes,
okay, and 15, I believe it was $15 an hour.
yes.
So I have the recommendation for the posting of a code enforcement officer. Would you guys like to have that posted on our website? Is that how you want to communicate the advertisement?
We can do website. For
Okay.
the
Maybe
recommendation.
an individual post for the current events, maybe?
Yeah, current events, we can do a post. I don't know if we can do something with the Madison Messenger, if that's too reaching or, you know. But anyways,
How
yeah.
long would you like to have that on there, posting?
2 weeks.
2
I say
weeks?
2 weeks sounds fair, yeah.
Okay, so are you placing the recommendation, Jay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Any motion for that then?
Yeah, Jay placed the first.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
David?
Yes.
Melanie? Yes. Craig?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Anything else?
Oh, sorry, I was like, oh, that was the first time, so I was kind of enjoying the moment. You know, we kind of, like I said, we kind of talked and kind of went down the line, you know, just kind of, so how we're working with the again, jumping back to what we're talking about, how we're kind of addressing the process. And so, again, we're not going around nitpicking, in a sense, looking for someone to get in trouble. A lot of situations, people are reporting, neighbors are reporting, just situations, like I said, they feel unsafe, it's a nuisance. Like, for instance, a lot of them is, you know, not many tall grasses, which I'm very pleased. I think since everybody's kind of been home, there's been a lot of yard improvements. So, I mean, the yards have been gorgeous. I know a couple over here, and I think it's Valley View. I don't know the names of the streets over here too well, but, I mean, they have been working from early morning till evening, and the houses are gorgeous. I think everybody's been home, so we're kind of seeing a little more attention to yard just because you have the time. Another big one that we're starting to see ride in is like farm animals. Again, you know, you can't have poultry in the village. You can't have farm animals. And unfortunately, what gives you away is the stench of manure. So don't try to sneak an animal because their poo stinks. You can smell it. You know, just things like that, you know, and it's just not safe, you know, especially on that situation, sewage and things like that.
Hey,
And also-
Jay,
Yes,
has
sir.
anybody brought up, and I run into this, dog waste on public sidewalks?
Honestly, I haven't seen
I
any
know.
reports for
I had
that.
a good pair of cowboy boots get covered, that's why I wanted to bring it up. But that's been going on.
I'm sure you're wearing a handkerchief
Okay,
with
I
the
just
boots too,
wondered.
okay. But anyways, like that, and trash on, you know, it's if you have trash piling up on your porch and all that, you know, and one, it is a nuisance to your neighbor, they're seeing it, it's just, but also at the same time, it's for your own safety. Please don't put yourself in that position. If you need help, if you feel stuck, call town hall and talk to us. We're here to help you. We're not here to punish. I want you all, or the community to understand that. We're not here to punish, we're here to help. So please take advantage of that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Am I missing anything? Code enforcement. So we are looking at, okay, one more thing. We are looking at community cleanup again. We're going to try and do like more theme-ish. What we mean by that is maybe by this next one here in the fall, of like doing a hazardous waste pickup. Also, we'll kind of reach around to like paint cans, if you have paint cans and things like that. You know, we're going to I'm going to try and make some connections, maybe something with the township or whoever that has that capability, and so that way we can actually pick up paint cans that are just sitting in people's garages, basements, things like that. So that'll come up soon too, so keep your ears out for that. And Mayor, I think that is it.
Very thorough report, thank you.
Thanks.
And I will be beginning with Sheriff Swaney and Mr. Hale in regards to the meeting attendance.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said I would be getting with Sheriff Swaney and Mr. Hale in regards to meeting attendance.
Thank you.
Okay, and adding to that as well, we do need to make, accept the resignation. I know that we did have not with Scott. So if we can please accept the resignation from Mr. Scott Lynn.
I move to accept the recommendation.
I second.
Roll call?
David?
Yes.
Melanie? Yes. Craig?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
That takes us to Block Watch. Mr. Timmons.
On June 25th, I met with my Block Watch captains here at the Skug Hall here, and we discussed future issues. One of them, I'm hoping there will be a Beggars Night, depends on this virus, I know. And that's one of our busiest nights a year for Block Watch. We spread out and make sure all the children are safe. And I know Michael, he's been one of my helpers doing this, my other captains. And we discussed those issues. We discussed the issues with the porch pirates. So far we kept watching. There hasn't been nothing going. And also the issue was brought up about watching to keep a close eye on children. We've had reports, there's people out there that that just shouldn't be out on the streets, basically. We'll keep an eye out on that. We discussed that and discussed our future about what we need to do, but I've really got a great group of captains this year, and we're getting a lot done. And also, I would like to bring up that there's been reports again on the phone. I always like to do my reports. This one here, they're calling you up and saying your Amazon package, you owe $299 for it. I need your checking account number immediately. Like I always say, take the cell phone, turn it off, or just slam that receiver in their ear. And that's the way you got to go about it. I just wanted to get that out.
Thank you. There are no ordinance or resolutions. That takes us to roundtable. Does anyone? Yes.
I have an update. The Building and Zoning committees met this past week as well, early in the week. I want to thank the 3 residents who came out for variances and/or permits. The process, I think, worked out really well for all of the folks who were involved who asked for variances and permits. Yes, it is required to get a permit to build a fence or a shed sometimes. And each one of them, I think, found the process very, very smooth. We meet regularly. You don't have to be put on hold. All we're trying to do is make sure, like nuisance, that everyone is neighborly. That, at the end of the day, is all we're trying to do. Also, I'd like to mention that the committee is also reviewing the Mount Sterling Comprehensive Plan. We're in the process. We have pulled the comprehensive plan. It was last updated more than 10 years ago. And I'm pleased to say that we've gotten a lot of interest in what our community can look like in the next round in the comprehensive plan, and there's been a lot of inspiration and thought put into it. So keep those things coming, and if you're interested, obviously, please come to the next meeting. We're talking about what your village should look like and how it should develop over time. This is your village, and the comprehensive plan is one way to guide some of that development. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to bring up the Madison County Fair time. It's going to be totally different for the junior fair. And being an old timer, it used to be my favorite time of the summer, being on that grounds for that week. And I just think of this virus, and now they got to show their livestock now and be going the same day. But I just wish them all the best of luck at the junior fair. And I also like to bring up, we've talked about this at the American Legion and where the monument is. We're hoping maybe we can work something out with the village, and we love to have toward the back all the service flags of the Marine Corps, Army, Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard. Maybe that's one thing we're talking about, and maybe we talk to the other commanders, and I'm going to see what we can do about that before November 11th. So that's all I have to say right now.
Very good. Anyone else? Okay, we will adjourn. Thank you all.
Thank you.